My YouTube familia, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I am bringing you my 18-month update of my Linx procedure with the knee simplification takedown, of course. If you haven't seen my 1-year Linx procedure update, it's on my channel. I will encourage you to go watch that first prior to watching this video, so you can see that today, in my 18-month update, not much has changed, right? I'm still suffering from regurgitation issues, and I'm still suffering from mild reflux, of course. Sometimes that mild reflux becomes kind of extreme, but it usually happens when I eat a lot of trigger foods or I'm not eating foods that I should have, right? So with the 18-month update, I think this is an important update for my channel and for me, because I finally got to talk to my surgeon. And this is the reason why I'm bringing the update. We're trying to figure out what we can do to heal my issues, right? We talked about, I gave him feedback when we had our appointment. I think it was like last Thursday, maybe. We had an appointment and we talked about how I was feeling, what I think, it's going on in my body, and he gave me feedback as well. So what we came up with is a plan again, right? So I am going to have more testings done. I think this is very natural, and for you guys that are planning on getting surgeries or planning on having procedures, from my experience, every time I've had to a surgery has failed or has not gone well, or every time I haven't been feeling right, there's always lots of testings that go on every single time. For example, right after my knee fundoplication surgery, when I wasn't getting better for my symptoms, we went back and did another endoscopy to see why everything was going on. We also went back and did more barium swallows to see what was going on, right? When I came to my new surgeon, he wanted to see all those testings again, but for himself, right? So it's a whole process every single time that it involves the question why it's happening, or why it failed, or why this or why that, right? So just to give you guys a heads up so you can keep that and take a mental note of that it's always going to be a process every single time, especially if you're going to go or try to get into another procedure. So going into the meeting or the appointment, I thought we were going to talk about more of, if we're going to have another procedure to take it down, to take the Linx out, or should we redo the Linx again, or to see what other procedures I can do. Well, that was not the case. He told me that he wanted to see for himself. I get from another barium swallow, why did the Linx not work, right? He gave me a basic, I guess, basic data regarding on the Linx. He told me that 90% of the Linx typically functions, right? So 90% of the patients are doing well. They don't have issues anymore. 5%, they still have the Linx works, but they still sometimes take medications for their issues. And then there's other 5% that the Linx didn't work at all. And guess what? I'm in that 5% where the Linx didn't work at all. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to try to find out why that is, right? From the barium swallow, what he told me, he was gonna see where we go from there. So that's gonna give him, I don't understand why he's a professional, but that's gonna give him some sort of idea where we can take this and what else we should do. So after that barium swallow, we might have to see more testings so he can see from his experience, I guess, what will be the best route. And one of the testings that I might have to do again, it's one of the videos I just made currently, which is a 24-hour pH testing, and another video I made recently, which is the manometry study. I am not excited at all about those studies, okay? Like I'm like, man, I have to go through those again, and that's not exciting at all. Like, it's just like, oh man. But I will do them. Not just because obviously the surgeon tells me, right? Because he's a professional, but also because the more data that we get, I know there's gonna be more accuracy into what I guess the outcome of my other procedures would be, right? So I prefer having that and giving it patience, because I've learned to have a little bit more patience, even though I'm really struggling and I'm having all these issues, right? So that's gonna be that, and hopefully we can take care of that in the near future. Another update that I wanted to give you guys from now, and just updating you guys in general. I went back to my functional medicine doctor, and we talked about some of the issues that I was having in my gastro issues and my gastro attack again. And I was telling her that I was suffering, a lot from the bloating and the gas and all those issues. So in her mind, she told me that it could be SIBO, and I was like, "Huh." I've heard of that about it a lot. I've done my research on that a lot. And I was like, yeah, it could be it, but I feel like I don't have, all the symptoms of it. But she told me that it could be a possibility. So that she was just gonna prescribe me some medication, right? We're gonna see if my insurance covered it, and thank God it did. So I'm just gonna take that medication for about, a couple weeks to see how that goes. Because look, don't quote me on this, but she explained something along the lines of, there's when I'm refluxing a lot and I'm regurgitating a lot, especially in this area, my body tells, I guess my brain tells my body or whatever, to create more bacteria in this area because of the food and the acid that's there. So sometimes when I feel that pressure here, and especially she said from hiatal hernia repairs, that the body creates like bacteria here, or something like that along those lines. So don't quote me on this. Try to do your research on this. I'm just giving you from what I remember. I have to do my research on this still, but I will take that medication to see if it helps me with some of my symptoms. And if it does relieve me, then I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. When I do my research, I will make a video, or try to at least update you guys on what's going on there. So I am a little excited to take that medication to see how it helps. But yeah, it is SIBO, SIBO. And if you know anything about that, then you should definitely do your research. And even though I've heard of it, I talked about to a lot of people about it. I feel like I still need to do my research on it, and see, basically what I can get from that, and see how that applies to my body and stuff. So that is basically it for today, guys. It's not much, but it looks like I am gonna end up having another procedure from my. I have this gut feeling that I am. Well, especially since the Linx is still implanted in my body, and I told my surgeon, if I still have the Linx in my body, obviously I don't want it if it's not working. I want it out, right? I don't just want to have a metal device in my body without it functioning, because there is no point. I would like to have it out. So I know I'm going to have another procedure. We just don't know what yet, or I don't know what he's going to want to do. But I will keep you guys updated on everything. I will keep bringing more content to you guys. And if it's updates, or new things that I feel like you guys should know about, I'll always bring it up. So thank you guys for watching my channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking the channel, subscribing. We are growing. We're close to 700 subscribers. And we're on our way to 1,000 soon. So I appreciate the love. Thank you for you guys. And thank you for all the love, man. It means a lot. So see you in the next one. Much love, baby.